everyone. Good morning. My name is Leonora Estrada, and I am a certified Feng Shui practitioner from the Feng Shui Research Center. Today, I'm going to interview Mylene Coste Wilks, who is a senior practitioner from the Feng Shui Research Center. Today, we are going to talk about the effects of the different types of energy. Hi, Mylene. Could you please explain us how are there different types of energy?
Yes, hello, Eleanor. Thank you for having me today. Well, I would say, first of all, that in today's world, there's more and more awareness about energy and the way they affect us. But when we're dealing with Feng Shui, we are actually talking about Qi. Now, this word is so small, and yet its meaning is so large. It is often difficult for Western people to understand exactly what is Qi, because we can't translate it in one single word. Actually, we would need at least a half dozen, and still we're barely scratching the surface. But to make things simple for the people listening to us, I would say that Qi is a vital energy within everything that lies between the sun and the earth. So Qi can be form, can be matter, can be spirit, can be air, but it can also be our luck, our destiny. Qi is a vital energy that expresses itself on 3 levels, which form a kind of a cosmic trilogy composed of heaven, earth, and man. Now, heaven has no religious connotation. It is the energy that comes from the universe, from above, what we encounter every day, such as light, wind. We can say that rain comes from heaven, but more than anything else, heaven Qi is time related. Then earth Qi can be found in mountains, rivers, and buildings. When we're talking about Feng Shui, we are actually talking about earth Qi. And then finally, there is the human Qi, which is us, our movement, our activity. So when we build a house, we build it at a certain time in a particular location, and we put our energy into it with the human workforce. When these 3 levels of Qi come together, time, space, and action, it generates an energy map of the building. So our goal with Feng Shui practice is to create a beautiful and balanced environment so that the people living or working in that particular space are in perfect balance with its energy, so to promote the likelihood of taking care of their body and soul by providing them with good health, wealth, and great relationships. But we must never underestimate the human part in this equation, because without human Qi, the energy has no reason to stay in a building. It is us humans that breathe consciousness into Qi. It is us that brings it to life. So we can say that what happens to us after that depends on how we use its influence. This can be difficult to understand. So with my clients, I often make a parallel with Wi-Fi because it's something we cannot see, yet it helps us to communicate. It can help us to educate ourselves with online courses. We can even shop or watch a movie, but it can also make us angry if the Wi-Fi doesn't work. And in some cases, it can make us sick. So Qi can do all that too, but the way we use the energy will also affect our lives.
Oh, that's very clear, Mylene. So could you talk more about these types of Qi? What are they?
Well, there are 9 different types of energies, and they all have their particular characteristics. These are attached to their direction, to a certain element, but also to a body part, an organ, and we can say that they have their unique character, their own specific personality. They are like living spirits that influence us in many ways, in the way we think, the way we act, and they can also make different things happen to us. On another hand, our environment is going to affect them and in turn impacts the way they affect us. So this is why we cannot limit Feng Shui to our interior, because what is outside our house is affecting the energies that are coming into our homes. So briefly, I will resume the 9 characters. We have star number 1, which supports wisdom and communication. So this is a great energy if we use words in our work. So for example, if we're a writer, if we're a philosopher, if we're a psychologist, or even a diplomat. And this energy is becoming more and more vibrant. So we can expect to see more and more people that will be healing with words. And then star number 2 supports medical achievements. But this star is also related to Mother Earth, to fertility, to farming and crops. Unfortunately, at present, it's not in such a nice phase, which means it can bring sickness to the people. But everything is subject to change, so after some time it will become more benevolent. Then we have star number 3, which is a very competitive energy. It has a little bit of an aggressive nature. Star number 4 is one of my favorites because it's related to romance, beauty, education. It's a very artistic and academic star. It's very useful for children when they're struggling with their studies. But just like you and me, it has a good side and it can have a bad side, like all the stars actually. And this star can bring lust and immoral activities. And then we have star number 5. Star number 5 is known as the Yellow Emperor. It's the only energy that doesn't come from one of the 8 directions because it's located in the center of the Lo Shu. And it's a rather evil energy. It's better to avoid it. Well, that's what generally we tell people. But some people use it, and they use it because it can be very powerful. Star number 6 brings authority, promotion, career advancement. It's an energy that has a lot of dignity, courage, and determination. Star number 7 is a little tricky because it will have a tendency of destroying things. Okay, it destroys them to rebuild something, but still. Then star number 8 is the most prevailing chi at the moment. It's since 2004, and it will be until February 2024. It's a very benevolent and gentle energy. It brings wealth and happiness to people. Its nature is rather conservative. It takes us back to our true values, such as family, ethics, moral. It's really the most moving and gentle energy of the universe. However, what's interesting is at the present period, it has a tendency of bringing things to a standstill. And when this energy is hurt, it can spread pandemic, which is the case at the moment. So why is it hurt? Well, it's hurt a little bit because of human behavior, because we're not respecting the planet, climate change, all that, because it's a time we need to, question ourselves, our economic consuming habits. Then the last energy is star number 9, and this star is really growing in its strength at the moment, and it will become the prevailing chi after February 2024. This star is all about illumination, brightness, emotion, joy, and change. And it has a tendency of going very fast. So let's say things are not going to last very long. This energy will be pushing us, constantly pushing us forward.
Oh, yes, sir, many times. So how is it that people can act or be influenced by this type of chi?
Well, in our house, this energy pattern has all these energies in a yin and yang form. So let's say the yang energies is what are going to help us to work. They are responsible for our success. So it's important to have an energy which is adapted with what we do. For example, if star number 3 is at our front door or in our working space, well, it's very aggressive or competitive in nature. So if we're a salesperson, it's going to help us. It's going to make us fight for each and every sale. And it will drive us to try and become one of the leading salesperson in our company. But if our job is non-competitive, well, then we can get dragged into quarrels. As I said earlier, it depends on how we use these energies at our disposal. So if we decide, no, I want to be a nice person, then we may encounter more and more adverse people, hostile people. We might get robbed. We might face lawsuits. These are the kind of things this energy can bring to people and how it can affect our lives. Then we have the yin energies. Now, yin energies take care of our body and soul. So here we would be more concerned about where we sleep, where we relax. Sometimes we have a limited choice of where we can place our bed. So if we end up on this same aggressive energy and our own energy doesn't communicate well with it, well, we can have health issues. This energy is related to the liver, and so we can, have anger issues. It's also linked to our legs and our feet. So I recall a young girl who was sleeping on such an energy, and she had the dream to become a football player. It was making her very competitive, and she made use of its influence by becoming very sports oriented, but she suffered 2 leg injuries that blew away her dreams. So that's the kind of problem that, why it's important to be in harmony with the energies that are with us.
So if I understood right, there are good and there are bad energies?
Well, let's say we like some energies more than others. But one Feng Shui master in the Feng Shui Research Center suggested that I should look at energies maps as if it's a corporate company, which means that you can't like everybody. Maybe you get on better with certain people than with others. But if you're the boss, you still need to work with each and every one. You can't lock up somebody in a cupboard and hope that they will disappear. It doesn't work that way. So you have a team, and each of the people have different qualities, different strengths, different abilities. So a good team manager knows how to get the best out of everyone.
Right. We are right. And how long it will take for these effects to start being reflected in a person?
Well, yang energies go very fast, so you can expect that they can affect you within a couple of days. But yin energies are much slower. They take their time. They take their time to build up. So I would say that, we need a few months before we really start feeling their effect on us.
All right, Mylene, so thank you very much. Thank you for sharing all that knowledge. It was very interesting. We learned a lot. And thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Leonor. Thank you for having me.
Sure. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.